Hey guys, I'm Al.
I'm Sarah.
My beautiful girlfriend.
This is Buddy.
So today, I thought we'd do a video on how Taiwanese and
Americans
view the world.
So Americans are obviously well known for being ignorant of a lot of what the other world is like. And apparently Taiwan, even though it's smaller, is also known for being ignorant. So we thought we'd compare a little bit between the two.
So we have a map right here that shows how Taiwanese view the world. And then we also have another map that shows how Americans view the world. And we're going to share with one another and see what one another think.
Buddy just rolled all over me. See if there's any anything we learned new about how the other views the world.
So obviously in the middle it says strong Taiwan.
Also, it's funny because it's in the center.
Because
they think they're the center of the world.
Because we are the center of the world.
America actually does that too in different maps. And they'll actually split Asia in half so that America is the center of the world. Yeah.
So let's start with America.
Mm-hmm.
It just says the evil empire.
Taiwan thinks we're evil?
Well, I guess many people think America is evil.
Taiwan too?
I mean, we like America, but it's just, I don't know. I didn't make up this map.
Oh, Taiwan, I love you.
So this might get a little racist, but for Mexico, they're criminals.
Really? That's what they say? It's so messed up.
Oh, and then here in the Caribbean, you see there's like a whole bunch of islands, and then they just point at like two of the smallest Taiwanese ally.
Really?
Because Taiwan is known for not having any allies because of China. So we have like the most random countries. I don't know, maybe Grenada is like one of them. Maybe Grenada is one of them.
That's really funny, actually.
Yeah. In South America, which is the entire continent, for us, it just says they're all playing soccer.
Sounds good to me.
Oh, so we left out Canada. And right here up top, it just says Brokeback Mountain. And I think it was taken, in Canada?
I guess so. I didn't know it was, but I guess so.
Yeah, but apparently that's what Taiwanese think. Right here on the east side of Canada, it says, if you don't have money to go to the US, this is where you go.
It's pretty funny.
Let's move over to the Pacific. That's Hawaii, obviously. It says there's a lot of mixed babies.
That's what it says?
Yeah. There's probably like a lot of Japanese
Uh-huh.
over there and a lot of Asians, and so that's probably why
That's really
there's
funny.
like a whole bunch of mixed babies there. New Zealand, right here, it says it's conquered by the sheeps.
Oh.
And then for Australia, it says it's actually conquered by the indigenous people.
I wish.
Because there's quite a bit of them. So south of Taiwan, it says there's a lot of maids named Maria. That's pretty bad, but
It's funny.
for Japan, obviously we love Japan. There's tons of celebrities, pornos.
That's what it says about Japan. Out of all the things it could say.
Oh, actually, no, not celebrity, just porno.
Oh, just in general?
Just in general, there's tons of pornos in Japan.
That sounds right.
Actually, that does sound right. So China, basically, 黑心商品. Because you always see like news in Taiwan of like how Chinese manufacturers do it, add like crazy chemicals, or like they would even add like rat meat, mix it with beef meat so they can sell more and stuff like that. So they're just saying they're doing some like really non-ethical shit. So right above India it says desert. Right above that it says war.
Oh.
Alright, move over to Europe. Northern Europe, it just says very cold. Most of Europe, it just says all you do is drink afternoon tea and you don't have to go to work. For Europe. That's pretty accurate. UK, it just says that's where Hogwarts is.
That's what it says?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, are you ready for the last one, which is Africa?
I feel like this is about to be really racist.
Mama says that if you don't finish your meal, you will be sent here. Do you say that too?
No, but I can see where they would say that, yeah.
Alright, you ready for the American one?
Yes. Are you ready? So starting in America, we have, I just noticed this. So most of America says freedom, but then there is a little part that is just for Texas. So that's great.
That's where we are.
Yep. In Canada, hockey and bears. I would have thought moose. hockey and moose or hockey and beavers is more Canadian to me.
But that's very accurate.
Yeah,
Well, that's where
definitely hockey.
that's where if you can't afford to go to the U.S., Taiwanese would go.
Yep. Oh, in Mexico it says drugs and tacos.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's so much more to Mexico than that, but like stereotypically. Yeah.
Drugs and tacos, and then for us was all criminals.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
Uh-oh. And then, oh no, all of South America, all it says is jungle savages. That's so bad.
There's a lot more than that.
Jungle savages.
Is that really what Americans think?
I don't think so. I mean, I hope not. That's embarrassing. Okay, so moving over to Africa, oh, you can see we actually do have a Saharan belt labeled empty desert, which...
Rather than you just be sent here, you
Yeah.
don't finish your meals.
And then further down south is elephants and lions. Sure. And then way down south in South America, it says racists. So talking about the apartheid movement. And then over on the east, we have Madagascar, which is famous for its lemurs. So
See, at least you guys know
they
that.
did label lemurs.
Like, literally, if you ask Taiwanese what they know about Africa.
Oh, and then look, in East Africa, it says pirates.
That's true.
Europe, we have the Western Europe, which just says wine. Middle, which is Germany, it says beer. And then, Eastern Europe says radiation.
Chernobyl.
Yeah. And then we have the UK, which says the Queen. And then, I'm not sure what's going on in Scandinavia. It says black metal and IKEA. What's black metal?
I don't know. Well, IKEA makes sense.
IKEA, yeah. We gotta have IKEA for Sweden. And then if we move down to the Middle East, it just says war, which is a pretty accurate description
That's
for
pretty much what Taiwanese think,
Americans think right now.
And desert.
Yeah. Russia, communists, crime, and vodka. Sounds about right for Americans. I'm loving the fact that China is just called the factory.
And then for us, it's like all the evil factories.
Yeah. India is just labeled tech support.
That's very accurate.
With all our outsourcing, that's pretty much what I would say. Southern Asia is just labeled noodles. Sounds good to me. And then Japan has sushi and ninjas, which that sounds pretty typical. And then we have, is that Indonesia?
Yeah.
Coffee for Indonesia, Sumatra coffee.
Nice.
And then all of Australia, the entire continent, is labeled kangaroos, which I understand. So that is the world from an American's point of view.
And Taiwanese point of view.
What do you think?
There's some similarities. I mean, think about like the areas
We
that
both don't like China.
we both don't like China. and-
Mexico seems to have a pretty bad rap.
I know, criminals and drugs and tacos.
But we
At
know
least you guys
tacos.
have. Yeah, at least
Taiwanese
you guys
don't
know
know tacos.
Yeah, we don't know tacos. And then what? You know Europe a little bit more. Like Taiwanese wouldn't be able to tell you much about Europe.
Yeah. The fact that Eastern Europe is just labeled radiation is pretty funny. I don't know what black metal is. I'm gonna have to figure out what that is.
If you do, comment below.
Yeah, let us know. And then I think Canada pretty much... Did yours say anything about Canada?
If you can afford to go to the US, that's where Taiwanese students would go.
That's right. Well, ours just says hockey and bears. It seems like pretty much the Middle East is just war for both.
Yeah, yeah. At least you guys know Africa a little bit more because people do go to Africa for fun here and there.
Yeah. All right, Betty. Which map do you agree with more? USA?
Taiwan.
USA!
No, you're closer. That's cheating.
No, he just loves USA point of view.
He's not even eating that.
He's more cultured. Good boy.
Ignorant people.
Good boy.
Anyhow, that's probably the most ignorant right there.
Yep. All he knows is food and
Chicken,
parks.
basically.
He likes to play.
Cute though. Alright, see you next time.